Alright, so we just got done filming one video and we're filming another one. So I don't want y'all thinking I wear the same thing every day, just every other day. So what are we going to do right now? Well, we're still waiting on the sock for this tank. Now, a couple people in the comments suggested that I shouldn't put a sock on the sending unit, and I understand your concerns, but I would feel better with this tank being completely cleaned out with a sock filter on the end of that sending unit, so that we're not getting any debris that might get in the tank or that might be left in the tank doesn't even get to that filter, and anything that does get to that filter is captured there before it goes in the car. Now, every sending unit I've ever messed with had a sock filter on it. From what I can tell and what I've read, this should have a sock filter on it. It would have came with one factory, so that's supposed to be here tomorrow, or what is actually probably today, because it is late. Anyway, so we'll get that put on there, but what we can do in the meantime while we wait on that is we can clean this skid plate up, paint it. We can see if we can figure out how to put this sick console into the Jeep, at least kind of mock it up how we're going to put it in there, because it needs a console. All right, it'd be handy. So we're going to do that. Yeah, let's do that. It'll be fun, you know? So let's see here. So we're going to just take a wire wheel basically and wire wheel this crap out of here. And then we'll rattle can it black because, you know, we're like Marilyn Monroe here where everything looks better in black. So we're going to do that. So let's get to it. We'll put our cigar down here on our sick AMC and we'll get to work. So get this tank out of the way. Which, like I say, I'm going to pressure wash that tank, clean the outside of it, and then I figured out what I'm going to do about these vent lines, at least loosely. I will eventually probably put a rollover valve in there, but for right now, I'm probably just going to hook it back up temporarily, which will probably end up being forever. The wrong way, the right way, which is always the red clay traveler way. All right, why do it right when you can do it wrong? Because I don't believe I have any of my components, but I'm going to have to get up underneath there and look. Hopefully it's still there. I didn't see it last time. Hopefully it's still there. If it's not, then we'll hook it up right now where we can get the Jeep back on the road, and then I'll see if I can either find an original one or just buy a new rollover valve and stuff like that. So, because basically there's some concern that if Red Clay Traveler rolls this unit over, then all the gas in the back comes up here to the engine bay where your screaming straight six is, and then you might, you know, get a whole Dante's Inferno kind of experience, which, you know, I admit is probably best to be avoided. So we also, I'm rambling bad, so just bear with me. We also need to put an overflow tank back over there since that overflow tank is busted. So it'd be nice to put an overflow on there for the radiator. But we can do that another time. Maybe put us a Prince Albert can or something over there. Alright, we ain't gotta paint the whole thing. We're just doing a light duty cleanup here, and the shop is full of dust now, so that's good. So we're gonna hook up the air chuck and blow some of this crap off of here. Like I say, we're not going for a beauty competition. We're just trying to to get it a little better than it was when we found it, since we already got it taken apart. Somebody drug it over some rocks, it appears. But the tank fits in it pretty good, so. And there goes the air compressor, so. We're gonna do one of our classic bang up paint jobs on this mofo. Just something to slow the rust down. Oh, and this can's the one that doesn't spray. Of course it is. Son of a biscuit. It was a brand new can and it just randomly stopped spraying the first time I used it. And it's not clogged. I don't think they put enough aerosol in it. So. They make these things now that clamp onto a Sawzall that hold this can, so it'll shake it for you, which would be kind of handy. Oh, sorry. Like I say, it's better than it was before. So when we let that dry, we'll flip it over later and we'll paint the other side before we put it in. We'll touch it up. But right now, what we want to see is how are we going to put this console in this unit? Because you got to have somewhere to put your RC Coca-Cola. You know, can't just be going around town without your cola. So I still got some of the stuff in here from the camping trip the other day. Let's see. Might could see something if we plug in the light. Alright, so right here is the center area of the Jeep. Right in this quadrant. Seat belts out of the way. So hopefully you can see this area right here. This is just the transmission hump. And what we want to do is get this light where you might could see something. That'd be kind of neat. Well, I don't know what that was, but the camera just turned off randomly. It's still got enough juice in it to be operable. So I don't know what that was. Maybe it's too hot. I don't know. But we're going to try it again. And what we want is to take our sick GMC Suburban console that I restored black, and we want to put it in here. Now, we can't have it too far forward because it'll get in the way of the shifter levers. So we got to open this back hatch and get this spare tire out of the way. Now I need to cut this rubber mat down that y'all can't even see because I'm talking to you and the camera's on point back here. But regardless, this needs to be farther back, probably about in this quadrant. I'm thinking loosely. It's actually a pretty nice console. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, hopefully it's actually not a bad little console here because it's got this center section. You could put your beech nut chewing tobacco in there. Let's get this little section here. You flip up and make your notes on if you want. This part up here. Alright, so the camera overheated apparently, and I had to cool it off with that fan you hear running in the background. So what we were rambling about was this console. So the front of it here, which I know is hard to tell because the floor is black and the console is black, but anyway, the front of it opens and there's a spot where you can slide in a cup holder here, and in the very back here, it's got these cup holders that swing out in the back. So it actually fits in here pretty good. It's a little too long, so it has to sit up on the rear hump back there just a little bit, but I think it'll work pretty dandy. I just gotta make sure it doesn't get in the way putting it in the 4 high, which is not something I put it into very often, but still, if I needed to, I want to be able to do it. So which I think about right there, which is about even with the front seats. That should give me more than enough clearance to go into that. And that second reverse is all the way over here. That's 4, so you're nowhere near in danger of this, of your main shifter hitting. So I think we should be able to figure it out. But I think right in that area is probably good. Somewhere right around in there. And it's about the perfect width between the seats too. So I think it'll be kind of handy myself. Probably need to make a little bracket that extends out from the base of it some, which shouldn't be too hard to do. Should be able to find some scrap metal for that. So I'm going to set you right there. So this is the bottom of it. You've got these 2 brackets that are hidden. So basically I need to make something that bolts to these that stick out enough so I can attach it to the floor of the CJ5. Now I might put a little riser on the front of this to bring the front of it up, because it naturally wants to sit kind of like that. We kind of want it not necessarily perfectly level, but a little bit. So I had to figure that out. But it shouldn't be the end of the world to figure that out. So let's see what we got laying around. Alright, so we're gonna use this as a spacer to bring up the front, a piece of 2x4. And the back, really don't know what to use for the back. I need some kind of strap, metal. I'm not even opposed to having it come out and attach to, I'm not opposed to self-tampering it to the floor, but I'm also not opposed to having it attached in the front anyway to the seat brackets. I don't know what the best way to do it is. It's not made for this Jeep, so we're just gonna have to cobble it together. So it's gonna be real fun. So let's get this set up. This over here. Let's see something. that. And then we've got these washers. They're probably too big to put underneath there, but we're going to try it anyway. I've got to get some new drain plugs because when I was driving in the rain the other day, this thing was blowing water up through the floorboard like a fountain through the drain plugs. Now I got the major rust holes in the floor covered, but the drain holes, all of them are missing the plug, so that made it kind of exciting. That brought the front up a little bit. Brought this section right here, brought it up. Now, like I say, there's a cup holder that slides into this, so we'll have to get that, but that should work. And it shouldn't interfere with our shifter knob here. Like I say, you never hardly ever go into four low anyway, so probably put it about right there, just slightly back from the seats. Now this is the part that I don't know what to do about, is how to get a spacer to the bottom here to lift the back up enough to be able to attach it to the rear floor. So, but that's about right. The rear spacer, we don't want it to be picking the back of it up any. So, yeah. It just needs to be flush with the existing edge, basically. So, let's see if we can't figure that out. So basically, we'll want to bring this surface is recessed right here, so we can't bolt it to the rear floor. So we need to bring this up level with this plastic, and then have our pieces that we're going to use come out just a little bit so we can bolt it to the rear floor. That'll hold it in the back, and then we need to have some tabs coming off of here that come out just far enough to bolt it to the transmission home. So need to figure out. 2x4 might work there too to space that enough. I don't know. We'll have to grab a piece and find out. So you could honestly even put a spacer and just run a board like that, sticking out enough, but that don't look good. So. That's pretty dang close thickness right there to get it. Yeah, that's about right. So we need a little chunk of this board here to attach here to these bolts. That'll bring the back flush with that, so we can actually run something off to attach it. So let me cut that real quick. So we got our chunk of board. Let's bring it back over here. get it assessed. Grab the drill, I forgot it. Basically like that right there will work just fine. And don't worry, we're going to paint it black. We're going to restore it. Don't you worry, folks. You know the Red Click Traveler's going to restore it. Ow. That was my finger. Yeah, actually not good. Might be able to use those in the front. I don't know, but we're going to put these on in the back. One bolt will be enough. So it's going to be held. It's going to be held with 4 bolts. So I'm not overly concerned about it. So let's go ahead and take you over here to the drill press. We'll see if we can't drill some holes in this sucker. This funnel right away. We got those drilled. Let's slam them on there and see what happens. See how it makes us feel. See if it gives us the warm and fuzzies. I'm thinking that it might. If I had somewhere to mount you closer, I would. But this is as convenient a spot as I can find to set it. work. And that should work. So I'm going to go ahead and spray these, the bottom of them, real quick before I put them on, because I won't be able to reach them. Once they're on, we'll tighten those up, and then we'll figure out something for the front. This is some real nice ingenuity right here. This is some NASA, if you're watching, you can put me on the payroll. Tight right there. Boys and girls. Dang, we broke the piece of wood, but that's alright. It'll still do its job. Let go. Let go. It cracked the piece of wood right there, but that's alright. It's just there to act as a riser anyway, so it'll still work. So that's the back done. Alright, so we got those mounted on there. We're just going to tighten them up, and then we'll see about putting it in there. But my battery's almost dead yet again, so I'll have to change the battery. Thank you, GoPro. But we'll run this one until the battery goes dead. Live on the edge. say, our battery's almost dead, so we're going to try to do this before this battery dies, but if it does, then I'll swap it and show you what it looks like. So, like I say, the light in here kind of sucks. You have to bear with me on that. Try to do this without slicing our seats up if we can. So we want it about right there. Got these, we're going to have to bend those tabs down. It's going to be hard to attach it there by the seats though. But either way, all we got to do is run the bolts in, so that's no big deal. But that gives you an idea of what it'll look like right there. So my battery's dying. So until next time, until the next video, you have a pleasant tomorrow. Wheelies for life. Go ahead and subscribe. 1%. Go ahead and subscribe. Tell your friends. Regular Traveler. Willie's Jeep for life. Get it.